What's up, everybody? Brett here, and I'm back today playing some more Battle Brothers on our Warriors of the North DLC Let's Play. Pick it up a little bit after where we left off last time. I knocked out a couple of locations. This was an orc battle, a couple decent-sized goblin battles as well, and we took a patrol quest from Raderstad. So right now, I found this place. I thought it would be fun. There's a champion here, a goblin champion. We've killed a few of those before. But I'm happy to fight them whenever we get the opportunity. And then from there, I was thinking we could move up and perhaps take out a really cool barbarian place, turn in the quest, and then head pretty much straight down to the watermill. So we'll see what we get done today. Plans can always change depending on what we find, what we come across. But I thought this would be a cool battle to start today's episode with. I've got our shielded team up front. Two-handers have pulled out. I'm trying to get some people extra experience. And yeah, let's jump in. And we're fighting on a hill, so let's hope for some decent terrain. Okay. They have a little bit of an advantage, but at least, they're not at the top of a mountain and we're at the complete bottom. As often happens. And some of them are going to want to come to us. They're focusing Ozzy down pretty hard. This could be a good battle to check out the stats. See what the rolls are, the RNG. Like, their chances of hitting us with those bolas are so low. Like a 1 in 4, sometimes 1 in 5. And we're just going to chill. We're going to weather the storm with our shielded front line. It's kind of the purpose of bringing them. Let them get shot up. We've got both of our throwing weapon bros in too. Alright, bone plating took that hit, thankfully. Well, we're not going to get far if we keep missing. Alright, I'll take that. It's a 42 versus a 47. Alright, it's hard to complain when you get 2 one-shots like that. Alright. Well, that flips the script nicely. I was going to say, 1 more kill would be great, but 2 more would be awesome. If we could have hit him 1 more time, I'm pretty sure we would have killed him. So what was that, 5? Okay. 5 kills turn 1 is great. We could shield wall here, but let's just conserve. If this was a much bigger fight, and there were like, I don't know, 10 more of these ambushers, we would be shield walling in the front while we shoot back. Alright, and the net goes down on Fritz. Fritz's low fatigue makes it so that he should probably be in the center. I just kind of threw the front line together. But when a brother's in the center, usually they have to move a lot less. So because of that, you want to put your really low fatigue bros in the center. Kind of the same thing with Wonton. I think both of their fatigues are pretty low. Because usually the guys out on the flanks are the ones who kind of go forward and try and get, like, wraps. Or pressure. They try and pressure the ranged units. But we're getting surrounded by these wolf riders. But if there's nothing left in the center, which it seems like there won't be very soon. That's a 52. Sure. Get that kill. Get that kill. Can we get this one? Almost. Hitting him there would have been awesome. Would have given us the reset. It's a 45. Let's go for it. And now we don't quite have what we need to just keep going. Alright, let's hope our throwing weapons can get the kill for us, and it does. Yeah, our line of archers and throwing weapons is pretty deadly. I would love to put together a group where the entire front line is throwing weapons. Throwing weapons and shields. And I do think that in a nice composition, I think it is optimal to have more archers than crossbowmen. 3 and 2 is kind of my preferred strategy. If I had to pick crossbows or warbows, like I could only use one, I would definitely use warbows just for the ranged advantage that it gives you. It forces the AI to behave differently than they otherwise would whenever you have a bowmaster. Alright, let's come back here and start helping. Good block. Damn. Took kind of a flyer on that attack. Was just hoping to kill him before he got a chance to retreat. There we go. Nice. If this guy goes, now there's like nothing in our way. Yeah, let's go forward. We need to get another dude on the Zatox. We want to make sure we get that kill. He just has another one of those pretty rinky-dink spears. Step there. Let's try and get something of a surround, I suppose. Make sure that if he runs, he's got to kind of pay the price for it. Nice. Javelins out. Very good. We're somewhat leaving our backline exposed, but I think they have to step forward if they want to hit our backline. Maybe not. No, they don't actually. Our backline's heavily armored though. It shouldn't be that big of an issue. We could adrenaline with Jotnar, but I would only do that, I think, in a scenario where I could get onto the Overseer. And I don't think we're going to need as much firepower as we currently have devoted to Zatox. He's got no more armor left. So let's just move some supporting elements to the front to help Jotnar. Who could probably solo every, guy over here, but they're not going to give him that chance. Ozzy, however, needs to back up. He's being focused really heavily. Okay. Step back one. Take the shot. Push forward with Modun a little bit. Kata, show him why you have the big axe. Oh, I could feel it. We're on him now. Switch to crossbow, reload. That's the nice little combo. And the banner is a very accurate weapon, so happy to get that out. We can't switch in the same turn like I just tried to do. Was really hoping to land that attack because this is suddenly become a little bit dangerous. The amount of piercing damage he was able to do last turn. We really need Fritz to kind of come through here. Alright, he's bleeding at least. Let's step up. Perfect. Okay. I was hoping to rout him just by getting the better surround, and it worked. There was kind of a long shot. The kind of the thought process there would be to give him one additional target so that maybe he doesn't hit Folkier. And Ozzy was the most in danger, so I'm kind of happy to get him, one step further removed from the battle. Alright, let's see what they do. Not surprised to see the ambushers run, but I would like to be able to get onto the Overseer. Okay. Alright, if the Overseer is running, we're going to drop dogs. It's annoying, but we'll never be able to catch them. It's only really the Overseer that I want to catch for loot purposes. We're kind of risking Warrior here. Man, we're so close, but we don't have a dog on Wonton. Down he goes, and we're going to hit like our third spear. Maybe this one will be a good one, and we can replace Wonton's fighting spear with it. That would be cool. The stats would have to be pretty amazing, though. The other two, I think one of them was close enough to being good, but just not quite with the damage, I think is what the problem was. The fatigue reduction was amazing, especially because Wonton has pretty bad fatigue and all this heavy armor. Alright, we locked down the Overseer. Okay. Hopefully we don't lose a dog in this fight. Would not be surprised if the Overseer just whipped out his sword and one-shotted Battle Brother. So that I think is our backup Battle Brother. We had two of them. Alright, let's get up there and try and support Battle Brother. Not a bad little fight at all to start off the day. Perfect. That's better than we could have honestly hoped for, that we would just rout him by stepping in. I was worried about taking the position from Jotnar to jump in, so that's why I decided to take the low ground. But it could have been correct to come up to the high ground, but then we also wouldn't have been able to attack in the same turn. The damage isn't really what was important, but positioning I think is kind of key here. But now that he's running, it kind of negated that whole line of thought. We're going to run him down and kill the last two. Happy to see that Battle Brother is pretty much safe now. Perfect. This will just take a second, guys, and then we'll get on with our game plan. But this was a good fight. This was 25 heads for our current contract, which I think we have the upward amount of 35 that we can bring back. Those are some nice free attacks. We'll just pass here. I wouldn't even be mad if Battle Brother took the kill. Just kind of thinking about the idea of training dogs to kill humans. Or at least not to have a problem with like attacking and eating them occasionally. Like imagine you do that and you have a bunch of these like man-eating, man-attacking dogs around you. Could you ever really sleep easy? Okay, so the one we picked up was this one, the damaged one, the Assassin's Long Spear. Let's compare it to the one we currently have. So it's got one less durability. This one's 31 to 43, 31 to 44, very similar. This one has 14 more percentage chance on ignoring armor. But this one has weapon skills built up -3 fatigue. That's pretty good. So we're going to repair this. Probably these as well because they're quite valuable. And then we're going to sell it. Not a big deal. We've held on to a lot of stuff over time. No reason to hold on to that. So that actually was only 20 heads? Oh, that's right. About 5 of them escaped. That makes sense. So 20 heads. We need 15 more. That's a pretty easy fight, but I just don't know if I'll feel like taking it. Let's make some swaps. Yeah, something like this. And who's hurt? That's Ozzy. Yeah, Ozzy needs to come out. And unfortunately, John D is sick. Oh, I'm trying to remember what happened. It was some sort of weird event that I'd never seen before. Oh, that's going to bug me, guys. So when I was taking those like goblin fights, there was an event where John got sick. But I don't remember what happened. It was a really weird event. Dang, I don't remember. Maybe it'll come to me and I'll tell you guys about it. So a foul cave. This might have been a fun fight. We'll take it since it's on the way. Just a couple berserkers we can probably gun down. Damn, what happened? I'll never remember. My memory is just garbage. I've learned to accept that about myself. I don't know. I'm underselling my memory a little bit. But in some regards, my memory is definitely trash. I'm unfortunately one of those people that just can't remember anything unless it's something like I really want to remember, like useless information, video game, or, you know, Magic the Gathering related, or Pokemon, or some cartoon, or something, you know. If I could take all that, like, memory space in my brain that's filled with, like, fantastical nonsense, and somehow devote it to science, I would have something. So I figured most of these guys wouldn't get in on a charge this turn. Sucks that Isaac got stunned, but we saved a good bit of fatigue on most of our brothers by not getting too eager with the engagements. That's Indomitable here. Honestly, super worried about the ones with those axes. And we're whiffing way too many shots. Let's move in here and take the hit. Christ, do we want to step in there? There's no way. I don't know about that. That's a good attack. Knock him backwards a little bit. Spear wall, maybe we'll keep him out. And if we step in here, we can at least prevent him from stepping in maybe and getting some sort of, you know, multiplicative type of attack. Like we could step up here and go for this guy. Maybe make something happen. Fighting berserkers is always dangerous. There's no great easy way to do it. Okay, good. He tried to reposition. Svarog, I mean, he has his shoulder plates, his bone plating. So the first hit, if it hits him in the body, yeah, great. And it just straight up a miss, even better. We'll wait here. Injuries are also acceptable. And we'll use Indomitable and take the high ground. That's about as defensive as you can get in this game. Come on, man. Let's get this out. And of course we'll rotate everyone down. And we want to kind of let Wonton be the tip of the spear, pun intended. His spear wall is really directing where they can and can't go. I know it's kind of hard to imagine his zones of control, but basically right now he's messing all of this up. So they can either go here against a solid wall of Svarog and Behemoth with, you know, these bushes making another wall. So if you kind of can imagine the lines of sight that I'm looking at, and think of it from like the AI running percentages, they're like, okay, we're here. We can either go this way or we can go this way. And this way is nothing but death to them. So they have to come up here. And to come up here, they have to either make it past, you know, Wonton Fu's spear wall, which is probably a really low number, or they jump exactly where they jumped now. So I think I played that pretty well. And sometimes it might be hard to see exactly like what I'm doing, like what my plan is. And I know maybe I don't always explain it because sometimes I just kind of gloss over it. I know a lot of you that watch me are very experienced with Battle Brothers, so like you can probably see what I'm doing, how I'm positioning. And a lot of times I wouldn't presume to kind of teach some of you guys, but I know there's a lot of you out there who probably just watch what I do, and you're like, look at that big goofy open, you know, formation he just made. But if you understand how the AI works, then you'll understand my movements, I think, a lot better. So this should be the last attack, and there we go. And I'm not saying I always make perfect plays, but when I make a series of smart movements like that, I'd like to point them out to y'all so that we're all on the same page. So that was another 8 heads for us, which was nice, and we didn't really take any damage on that fight at all. So there's another big goblin location here. I'm not really feeling like fighting goblins. I hate fighting them. Only 1 hex? I hate fighting them. They're just... most of the time I think we can just snipe them. But like... And if we're going to fight her, we need to fight them... Oh, no. Before nighttime. because we want to have the ability to snipe her with our longbows, which of course becomes a lot harder at night. The dire wolves are nothing. They're probably all frenzy dire wolves, so don't let, lots of dire wolves fool you. 12 frenzy dire wolves can still mess you up, especially if you start losing brothers to, her hexes. So the composition of this place has changed, I do believe. I think this is a fight we want to take now. It could be fun. We don't want Wonton. Fighting Spear is just not quite good enough against the Chosen. Spear Wall, however, does do some work in the right situations. And we did pick up a level on Zach, so let's go ahead and level up our boy. 90 range skill, finally. That's nice for him. Keep leveling Resolve. We'll get him up to 70. And then sure, let's give him some range defense. I don't know. Doesn't really matter at this point. They're all about as strong as they're ever going to get. Man, we have these like amazing weapons in our inventory. It like burns me up so much that we can't. We have no one for this hammer and no one for this this flail. They would be really awesome weapons in someone's hands. Like I would love to give them like here, right? And to like Skeeb. Like boom, there you go, Skeeb. And then do something like this. But I can't remember, there was some kind of problem last time I tried to do this where like I couldn't put the shield in my... Like there's not enough room or something like that. You have to have a free slot, I guess, for the shield to go into. So like I would need to do this and this, I think. Let me know in the comment section if that's correct. I think that's what's happening. Like I'm going to switch here, and then because I have like the empty bundles, I have nowhere to put my shield, so I can't switch the weapon. But we'll try it out here and see if that's correct. But I would love for Hans to be able to use this cool hammer and to do giant damage versus these dudes. And I'm actually going to save the game right now. I hope you guys don't mind. It's been a long day of recording struggles, let's call it. And I'm getting pretty tired of re-uploading stuff. So for those of you who follow like my my Darkest Dungeon Let's Play, I have a pretty awesome episode where we beat some pretty serious bosses, and the episode will not finish processing on YouTube. I've been uploading it for the last 3 days, uploading it, re-uploading it, letting it process for 24 hours, and it won't finish. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know how to fix it really. But it's one of those, Darkest Dungeon is one of those games, like, if I can't upload this, there's no going back to show you guys. Like, that's it. So, it's very frustrating. Battle Brothers, if there's ever some sort of recording mishap, I can at least fall back on, I can reload a save, I'll put in the time. It sucks for me, to have to redo things I've already done, but I can do it. It's not impossible. But Darkest Dungeon is one of those things, right? I fight one of the hardest bosses in the game and beat it. And if I can't upload the video, it doesn't matter. No one can watch it. Okay, we're going to come up here and try and hold a lot of people back. Very good. The position we've been given right now is amazing. Let's step in and reload. Probably want to put Ragnar behind Isaac too if we can. Of course, some of them are going to spill out and go around the corners. But for right now, it's going to take them forever, like, to get these chosen through here. And the ones that come into, like, this kill funnel that we've made, they're going to get wrecked. It might be worth using Indomitable there. I'm not sure. Because there's so many hard-hitting weapons up here. And if we shield wall, they're just going to attack our shields. And they have a decent chance of, like, one-shotting them, which I don't want them to do. And the dogs are really messing them up, too. Forcing them to, you know, have late engagements with their chosen. We'll pick off the Reavers when we can, because they hit just about as hard as a chosen does, but are much less armored. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Isaac's going to have to do an incredible amount of work up there. Once Gimli is done helping here, he'll move up, and probably Lancel as well. But we have a lot of work to do. Okay, so we have issues. Let's go for this Reaver. Alright. Our bone plating took that first heavy hit. I see that their drummers are exposed. I would love to kill these guys. I don't know, you know, if they're the tip-top priority, though. Yeah, missing there feels real bad. Let's get out the pole hammer. And we can go for a destroy armor here. And we took out his helmet. Alright, that's not nothing. That was a good series of attacks. Let's get that dog and then come back here and kill this drummer. Okay. And I was really hoping to get lucky there and hit him in the head. Come on, somebody kill this dude. Okay. Happy to knock him back. And then we'll use the line shot on Svarog. Good hits. If Isaac didn't have the ability to heal, I'd probably be freaking out a little bit right now. We'll leave Ragnar up where he is. Don't really want to step in even if I could against this hammer. He'll just go for a round swing, hit Behemoth, Jotnar, and Lancel. So let's try and take him out if we can. So killing one drummer is not good enough. You got to kill both of them. If you're going to focus one, you need to focus both. Because they only need one to get that refresh. Alright, bone plating down on Isaac. Ooh, and a swap into a hit. But they whiffed all their attacks. That's amazing for us. But Ragnar's now in danger. And we're getting very lucky that they're missing so much. And just as I say that, Svarog takes some heavy hits. Alright, a kill there is awesome. It's kind of like part one of what we need to do. Shoot him, switch it out. Get that hit. And now Svarog can get that kill. And if we get the decapitation there, perfect. That was a great start up there. Alright, bone plating on Leisure side takes the hit for us. And I think we need to support the northern part of the battlefield. Honestly, I think we need to leverage Raynor's armor by stepping in and making him somewhat vulnerable to attack. Just like, and I kind of referenced Magic the Gathering earlier, but my thought is that just like in Magic, life is a resource. HP is a resource, right? You haven't lost the game until you're at 0. So what we're trying to do is spread damage out. Okay. Trying to spread damage out. And, you know, our brothers aren't dead until they're dead. As much as, you know, as much logic as that is. It's true, though. They're not dead until they're dead. So if you have brothers who die horribly, you know, getting focused, while, you know, the other 11 brothers are at, like, immaculate health, it's probably because you made a mistake. The AI's focus is okay, but it's not generally that good. It's probably because you left someone out to, you know, you hung them out to dry, so to speak. And I'm going to Indomitable here. That might make it so that I can't use a round swing next turn. But Svarog is not in the best condition. A few heavy hits and he could be in, you know, a lot of trouble. So, like I said, we're leveraging Rainer. We put Rainer in the danger zone. And that's exactly where he is. But he takes that hit that otherwise maybe Leisure Side would have taken. And now we're getting a little bit in trouble, though. That's not good. So Svarog plus Isaac are both in a lot of trouble right now. Happy to step up here too. We need to take a lot of pressure off of Isaac like right now, or else chances are he's basically just dead. We can't even get there. So let's come down here and help out Svarog, because Svarog's kind of in the same boat. We'll kill the dog. We'll come here. Now let's reload. Alright, and that type of kill is exactly what we needed to get back into this. Isaac's heal might save him. We just can't have them do that kind of heavy piercing damage again, or chances are he's going to die. But we've thrown Hans in here. You know what? Let's use Adrenaline. Try and go first. And maybe kill this Chosen. If we had Indomitable left on Isaac, I would definitely do it. Come on, Warrior. We need you. Alright, he does have a weapon. And they're going to run. Interesting. I'm glad to see that because it means they're not going to be swapping out. But we've got to survive one more. Okay, thank God. I think we're good unless they swap. Okay, they swap. Guys, that was a roller coaster ride of emotion. Whew. I was saying every time it was basically like, well, we're only screwed if they do this, and then they did it, but then they missed. So we were very lucky. And we managed to kind of tilt the balance of power at the exact moment that we needed to. Alright, Battle Brother number 1. Honestly hoping to rout that guy there, but he's still kind of steady, it looks like. Let's use that bill hook. Nice. Good damage. And here. Let's make sure that guy doesn't get away. But we need to put more pressure on him because Rainer's in a little bit of trouble now. Just a little bit. This guy's damaged, he's bleeding, he's staggered, but he's not out of it yet. Let's use adrenaline. See if we can't break him before it's his turn to attack. The heals on Isaac. Truly the only reason he's still in the fight. We crushed his windpipe. Perfect, well done. No, Battle Brother, don't go up there. We honestly would rather let that guy run. So Warrior and Battle Brother are doing serious work. And Rainer nearly dies from that. So we're going to send Hans up here. And honestly, we'll probably send Isaac, I guess. His bleed is really bad. Man, if we could step out and shoot. Step here. We need to make this guy rout. Or kill him this turn. Mushrooms can't help us here. We could step in here and attack, though. That was the solution to our problems. Also, the swap. We're not going to risk Farog. That's pretty pointless. My idea in moving up here is just to make sure that if that Chosen comes back or if Battle Brothers catches him, we have a chance to try and save him. But we've got two pretty serious injuries. We've got a broken nose and a split nose. Oh god, his nose. No. His beautiful nose. He's breaking at least. His accuracy will be very low, but he's still going to get a chance to attack. Warrior gets in there, but it might actually not be a good thing. He might just one-shot Warrior. Okay, he didn't. And we did it, guys. A tough fight, but we knocked it out. Took some serious injuries, but that's just kind of par for the course when you fight Chosen. We got a bunch of their armors and helmets. We'll repair those to sell. But 619 gold. That's my wife's lucky number, 619. And don't ask me why, but it is. And a bunch of furs to sell. Hopefully Raderstad doesn't produce furs. And enough tools, perhaps, to cover some of our repair costs. Okay, now we have a lot of junk we got to get rid of to pick up the good stuff. The nets aren't very valuable. What else? These bolas, not super valuable. These bows are okay. These shields are worthless. The meat we don't want. We're going to repair those, so we're picking those up. The little metal shields are worth a bit more, but still not much. Anything else? I mean, that's 3 cheese. Let's toss that. These helmets are worth a surprising amount. We need to get these for sure. The broken bows, the bolas are worth 200 apiece. I mean, that's pretty good. That's good enough. The mushrooms, I saw we had those mushrooms. Those aren't worth much. But let's organize. And then we'll go through and repair a ton of stuff to get it ready for selling. Man, pretty much all of these, we're going to run out of tools. That's alright. We'll just bring up the value a little bit on all of those. These might not be worth repairing. We'll see. Honestly, if I was in charge of tweaking a few things, I would make these probably 190s. I would make these like 210s. And I think 230 is probably fine on these. I might lower their fatigue by like 3 or so. Because they're just not useful. Like you just can't use those armors. It would make the Chosen a little bit stronger. But you could always tweak them a little bit too in a way. And I'm not going to bother changing out our crew because I don't really honestly want to take a fight here. I don't think we got any levels from that fight either. But yeah, after we turn this in, guys, we are going to head south. There's another cool location, the Ancestors' Yurt City, that I wanted to attack simply because it has armored unhold. And I feel like if I don't fight at least one more of those battles before we finish our, let's play this run through, I would be a little disappointed. 3,580 crowns for our trouble. And that puts us back at 40k. I don't think there's anywhere around here that likes us nearly as much as Ratterstad. So let's see what the prices here are. It should be pretty good. Yeah, and of course they produce furs, so they don't want any of our fur trade. And yes, so the prices here are great. The bear hat says 20. All praise be to the bear hat. So we're at 40,242. Let's start selling and see what kind of profit we make. So we wanted to get rid of the assassin's long spear. Those big axes can go. Man splitters and the berserk chains can go. Rusty war blades are gone. Two-handed skull hammers. Chosen weapons are just worth a fortune. We'll get rid of one of our impalers. One bundle of throwing spears, one bundle of the heavy throwing axes. Silver bowl, we had minted silver coins that are good to sell. Basically, we just can't get rid of our furs. So we made 10k off of that. That is a nice payday for all of our running around. But we got to spend a good bit getting our tool supply back up. Food-wise, we're doing great though. But we do need ammunition, so I'm keeping an eye on that. We're down to 200. Alright, no cool weapons there. Let's get everybody a drink. Huzzah to the commander. That's me. And I'm not super interested. We'll check out these contracts. Just to see if there's one that's asking us to relocate to the south. Southwest to Birkwall. Birkwall, I'm trying to remember exactly where it is, which is why I didn't accept it. I think it's over here. Yeah, that's not where we want to go. We're trying to head more toward Strockberg, or Dornan would be okay as well. Because I don't really want to take any fights, I'm almost willing to take that one. Just to have a way to get paid. Yeah, let's just walk. It's all good. We'll just keep heading down. We've got about 10 minutes left on today's episode, so I was hoping to get one more fight in. But I'm going to be a little picky about it. We'll check the Fletcher for some rare, bows. Not the best prices on those furs, but really good prices on ammo. So we picked up 150. That puts us up to like, 367. We can have 500. Let's buy another 100 there. See if they're going to pay us to travel. To Grolfest. Nah, Grolfest is in the west. Head down to Grafenheid. At this point, guys, I just want to kill, like, lots of unique enemies. I would love to fight champions. If that's something that's in the cards. The prices here for furs are pretty okay, so we'll sell what we have. Yeah, 18 is really good. They have a lot of men for hire here, but they're all a good bit weaker. We're not, you notice, you know, there's a temple there. We could get rid of some of our injuries, but we're traveling so much right now that our injuries are just kind of getting taken care of over time. Just naturally. And there's a lot of wild here, so I wouldn't be surprised if we ran across some place that we wanted to fight. We could take this fight, but it would drag in these two. I mean, it would be a huge zombie slaughter. My minor aggravation is that I haven't been able... Ooh. We did need Nagzurhers to make the Kraken plate, I think it was. We're gonna kill these guys, but I think we're gonna wait until the goblins are dead. Nagzurhers take the W. Oh no, we're pulling in goblins. Alright, let's do it. I'm in. I am in. Oh no, we're getting sandwiched? That's not what I signed up for. Oh no, this battle just became way harder. I thought they were going to be fighting each other, but it put them on either side of us. Okay. Well, I'm really glad I waited now, although they might have been in more of a competitive mood. I think most of these things are going to come straight at us. They're not going to go to attack the goblins. I think we're going to have to kill all of them, and then we're going to have to go and kill all the goblins. Because the goblins are just going to chill back and shoot at us. And our problem, as always, is that we're just going to make a ton of these big level 3s. We don't have to. But I love getting in their faces. Let's step forward as much as we can and claim these corpses. The one thing we don't want to do is step here. Just let them grow. Can we get there? Man. So let's use adrenaline to get up top first. Nice. Just put a little extra damage there. Make the goblins move down. Every kill that they get, I don't get the, the loot. But I don't need many of these crafting materials from them. If I kill, a couple of them, that'll probably be enough to give me the horns that I need. It's definitely not a guarantee, but it's... I mean, there's 20 of them. Or whatever the case may be. There's a ton of them. So the odds of me not getting some decent crafting materials from this fight are pretty low. Step that way. Alright. See if someone steps in here to try and eat. Okay, he stepped in but didn't eat, so we're just going to wreck him. Be surprised if anyone wants any part of fighting Isaac. But what we're going to do here, I think instead of shooting this turn, we're going to bring down our archers and kind of consolidate them in this little area so that we're pulling the goblins' formations apart, making it so that their melee units are going to come, their skirmishers are going to go out ahead of their ambushers. So the way they're spending their turns, you know, coming and moving instead of just sitting still, parking, and shooting at us. Love that they're using, you know, their entire turn to kill just a few Nexurers. Or Nexurers. Alright, let's go for the big swing. Gotta love it. Very good. Decapitation to scare the ever-living crap out of these things. Big hammer. Alright, I love this change. I mean, Hans is so good at throwing that he's probably better off, honestly, just, you know, sticking with the throwing weapons. But I hate having that giant hammer in my inventory and not using it. So we're going to use it. We could probably see, I see brains, teeth, there are some horns. I think we need one more horn than that. We need 2, I think. Unless we want to make double plate. But I like making the plate and the shield, and then giving both to one brother. I think that's really cool. Have one brother just be like the Kraken Lord. And our last playthrough, we had it on, what was his name? I'm trying to remember. He was like one of the biggest heroes in our entire party. What was his name? But he was our fencing bro. He had the Kraken shield, the Kraken breastplate, you know, a full fencing build, and then he also had the reproach of the old gods. So for a long time he used a fencing sword, but once we got that weapon, he was able just to jump in, and with his super high melee skill, able just to land every single attack. Lightning would shoot out everywhere. Oh my god, it was so beautiful. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about when I say the reproach of the old gods, hopefully you'll find out soon. But having that already would make a lot of these fights much more trivial. I'll take it. And I'm definitely not complaining about getting this 2-for-1 fight. I never really like walking by locations where I feel like I might be able to get treasure. By treasure, I mean like a unique item or weapon. Which I think I said at some point just recently. Like, I feel like we haven't gotten any in a long time. Because even some of like the off-camera stuff I've been doing, this was definitely an inferior location. I should have jumped here, but it is what it is. Let's hopscotch over to there. We'll bring Jotnar up. And I just want to get a few more of these goblin kills, and then the Overseer. And then whatever, you know, amazing loot may or may not be hidden away in here, we'll get it. At the very least, another Impaler that we can sell for a good profit. Those things are worth several hundred. Ooh. Haven't been poisoned by the goblins in a while, and then all of a sudden we get double poisoned, which is going to make this range skirmish a lot less profitable for us. In fact, now that they're poisoned, they can't even reach this. I don't believe. Yep. Getting those kills is great. May look a little awkward considering how many units we had, or how many brothers we had there, you know, ready to strike those guys down. But what it's going to do is it's going to free us up to just completely reposition. Yeah, high ground. Move up there. We'll send a few brothers here to deal with these. Okay, I don't like not being able to get there, but send Svarog up. We've got so many injuries. A few lucky shots wouldn't hurt. Alright. They're nice and split though, which is cool. Too many misses. Alright, goblins. Got a kill squad on you. That was a smart move from the AI. I would have probably one-shotted him with that huge mace. Okay, Ragnar needs to run. But that's perfect. Him doing that, try and save himself. He was still pretty vulnerable. We'll go for the better chance shot. Yeah, Raynor and Ragnar aren't really good to anyone poisoned and injured. Perfect. And we'll get Jotnar out of his constraints. That's what I'm talking about. So now he can attack without the worry of the debuffs. And there we go. One more movement should tie down the skirmisher. And this is sort of risky, but our armor is so thick. Even if they all focus Kata, he should be able to survive. And I imagine most of them want to run anyway. But it looks like they're still happy to shoot at me. Alright, there goes the plating. I expect the shots there. And then now I expect another shot here. Yeah, that hurt though. Let's take an aim shot on the Overseer. Perfect. And what kind of injury is that? A grazed neck? Those are good ones. Dang. Alright, we got to get closer. A little bit better of a surround with Svarog jumping in. Man, we just cannot get onto this Overseer. Do we have any nearby adrenaline? Like Jotnar, can he use it? No. So they could very easily run from us this turn, and we won't be able to kill the Overseer. Yeah, that sucks. Dang. At least he's at the bottom. No. We're never going to catch him. We have eyes on him, but there's no way we can reach. Yeah, we're just going to be that little bit out of range. Yeah, we'll just let them go. Whatever. Not normally my attitude when it comes to goblins. I like to kill them all. But we just could not pin him down. We'll try, I guess, for this turn. But I don't see any... There's no brother who's like in imminent position to do anything. It's over. Still not a bad fight for us. We pick up some silverware. But we have the horns we need. Perfect. So let's come down to Finsterwald and craft. Make our Kraken regalia. Alright, what else do we need? Well, where is it? Horn plate. Here we go. That's number one. So these segments of horn plate are made from one of the hardest yet flexible materials nature has to offer. Worn over common armor, they can help to deflect incoming blows. So, reduces any melee damage to the body by 10%. We've kind of talked about the pros and cons of this, but it's up there, right? It's as good as, in my mind, it's about as good as bone plating, maybe just a bit better. You know, if a bone plating is a 9, this is a 10. And I think also bone plating to me is about the equivalent of the shoulder plates, the 40 durability. I've done the math on them many times kind of on camera with you guys, and I think those are both like 9s. And then you have something like this or the Lindworm cloak, and I consider those both to be like 10s. So we're going to make that. But we also wanted to craft the shield, but I don't remember... Oh, we're missing scrat components for the shield. We could make 2 horn plates. I don't want to do that, though. Yeah, I don't really want to do web next. Let's get to Strachberg. But yeah, we need to fight Scrat, which is another enemy that I would love to fight before this playthrough ends. As always, we'll check the armor for something good. And there's nothing, but that's okay. Can sell off some of the junk we have in our inventory. We definitely don't need all these brains. The Naxurs didn't need them either. And I think that's pretty good. Check the weaponsmith. We seem to have a lot more luck with the weaponsmith than we do otherwise. But guys, that's it. I mean, we're close to the watermill. We can head down there now. A woman jumps out of the tree line beside the path. Oh, thank the gods, my prayers have been answered. Please come quick. My grandpap has fallen down the well. She turns and hurries away as though you've already agreed to help her. Wanton Fu the Faithful glances at you and shrugs. Guys, I've had this happen to me before. I had a woman, right when I moved into my house, she came and like banged on my door in the middle of the day. And I get up and I go to answer it. And I'm like, yes, you know, how can I help you? I don't know who this woman is at all. And she says, oh, my car won't start. Grab your jumper cables and come start my car for me. And she was, you know, a middle-aged woman, not like a young girl or, you know, a very elderly woman that I might expect to be really forward. She was just some, you know, maybe 40-year-old woman I've never seen before. And I just kind of looked at her and I'm like, no. Who are you? Like, how can I help you? Like, you know, restate yourself. And she said, oh, I'm your neighbor. I live right over there. Grab your jumper cables and come help me. And I was just like, no. Like, how can I help? Like, you need to introduce yourself to me. I'm not just gonna, stop what I'm doing to like help a crazy person. Like, if you had been polite, of course I'd grab my jumper cables and come and help you. But so she slowed down for a second. She was like, "Okay, I'm headed to a wedding. I'm already late, and my car won't start. Do you have jumper cables?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And she says, "Well, I need you to pull your truck up next to mine in my yard so that I can, you can jump my car for me." It was this like rabbit hole of frustration where I was just trying to get this woman to be a normal human being and politely ask me to help her. And then past a certain point, I kind of gave up, and I was like, "Okay, you go back to your house. I'll get my jumper cables and I'll help you." And so I go to pull up into what I thought was going to be her yard. Turns out she wanted me to drive through her neighbor's front yard with my big truck and like ruin their yard just so I could jump her. And I was like, "I'm not going to do that." So I made her like, we pushed her car to the street so I could do that. What a like just a randomly frustrating encounter with a crazy person. Happens all the time though. But I think I'm just too nice of a guy to say like no for real. I of course would have always helped her, but like the way she asked really disinclined me. Just like this exact thing, like, "Hurry, come help me now." And I was just like, "Nah." But Sir Quick Hans the Quick, you're strong. You decide it's worth your time and go and take a look. The wellhead, a wooden framework meant to cover its opening, has broken apart. Apparently the old man was doing repairs atop it when this happened, and so he plunged down into the well. He looks up at you. "Oi there, fellas. I'm in a bit of a pickle. I'm actually being pickled now that I think about it." Right. Sir Hans the Quick throws down a rope. The old man ties it around himself. You and the sellsword pull the woman's grandfather up and back onto dry land. He shakes your hand and thanks you cordially. "Farkin' hell! Glad you came when you did. I was about to shit and piss like no other." You talk with the old fellow for a time, learning a lot about him. A while later you realize Sir Hans the Quick is nowhere in sight. Just as you think to start looking for him, he steps out of the woman's home. She's glomming onto his muscles and being rather touchy-feely. And Hans becomes eager. "Gonna be strong lads roaming these parts soon, no doubt." Yeah. Hans is leaving behind some progeny. But that's a funny story. But yeah, guys, whenever I have something like that happen in my life, I'm happy to share it because people are crazy, y'all. People are crazy. My wife and I are both like nice people. We like to help other people whenever we can. But sometimes in my neighborhood especially, people just knock on the door at all hours, either trying to sell me something, um, whatever the case may be. There's always some person knocking. And sometimes we've had really bad experiences too with like really, really aggressive, pushy salesmen or, homeless people who are kind of aggressive. And I had to kind of talk to my wife one time. I was just like, you don't have to open the door for people. Like, it's okay sometimes when you look out the window and you see who's knocking and you don't know them. They're some strange person, strange guy usually trying to sell you something. Like, you don't have to answer the door just to be polite. I actually had a guy the other day who came by. He was like trying to sell us those new doorbells that have cameras on them. And we're not interested. I just stepped out of the house to go for a walk. And my wife calls me and tells me that he was really pushy. Like he almost wouldn't let her close the door. And she was, kind of forceful with him, telling him, "No, thank you, I'm not interested." And then when I get back, my doorbell that I installed was broken. It was on the ground, like cracked. And I can only assume that like after she told him to kind of get lost, he broke our doorbell out of petulance. And I ended up calling his company and, registering a complaint. And they, it was guys, I could go on and on, but basically, like, they told me that she should have got his badge number, his ID number, for the complaint. And I was like, so you expected my wife, with this hyper-aggressive salesman, to call him out and be like, "Excuse me, sir, I need your badge number so that way I can call to complain about you to your company. I was like, does that make sense to you that like a woman alone in her house should request that of an already aggressive salesman? Like, and they just couldn't. It was just pure like liability. They just didn't want to be responsible for the dude breaking my doorbell. And it wasn't an expensive fix, but like I probably should have filed a police report, but no idea who the guy was. And then they said they were going to file complaints with that office in my area. And I was like, oh great, so you're going to file a complaint with this aggressive salesman who I don't know who he is, but he knows where I live, because of course he's going to remember breaking a doorbell. Like, I was like, I just assume you don't do anything. If you can't actually do anything, like, don't do anything. So, man, that was a weird scenario. But you gotta expect businesses to protect themselves and not you. And then you won't be disappointed when that's exactly what happens. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. We are poised outside of the watermill. And look forward to a fun battle next time. And probably an extremely challenging one. I think we've got a good squad for fighting what we're going to be fighting. If I would change up anyone, we might actually bring in Skeeb over Jotnar, but change up some of Jotnar's gear. Blessed Water would actually be pretty okay, and we seem to have a lot of it, but it's going to be a lot harder to use on people that aren't already good with, quick hands. But we'll see. We'll think about changing things up. Sir Muldoon would actually be great here. And I'll change up some of the arms and armor off camera, and we'll make that happen. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Goodtalk Gaming. If you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate it if you do. And guys, I have a Discord that's growing pretty steadily. We're over 20 members now. And people send me replays for Total Warhammer 2 stuff. If you have suggestions for Battle Brothers content, you can leave them there. There's a Battle Brothers channel, or at least a discussion area. And yeah, so there's all sorts of stuff to do. If you'd like to join the Discord, please feel free. And I'm on there pretty often, and you can talk to me too sometimes. So, yep, without any further ado, guys, thank you so much. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Take care, y'all.